Hi everyone, so today I'm here with my final update for the debutathon, and I'm also combining this video with my June wrap-up video. So first of all, I'll start off with the debutathon. So yesterday I managed to finish After Eden by Helen Douglas. I read 71% of that yesterday, so that's around about 205 pages. So all in the debutathon I managed to read 4 books. The 4 books I read were Splintered, Tumble and Fall, Geek Girl and After Eden, and altogether that adds up to 1388 pages, so I'm pretty happy with my progress since I'd originally only planned to read 2 books and I ended up reading 4, so I'm extremely happy with how that went on. Let me know in the comments if you were doing the debutathon and how you got on with your progress. So now on to the June wrap up video. So this month I kind of didn't stick to my TBR yet again. I failed miserably at TBR videos, so I think I will start doing it differently. I'm not sure yet how I'm going to do it, but something has changed because I'm not sticking to them and I'm just picking up random books or new books that I buy because I'd rather read them. So yeah, something has to change in that, but I'm just going to get on and do the wrap up of all the books that I did read in June. So overall I did read 15 books this month. I'm pretty happy with that considering I had a massive reading slump around about maybe the second to third week of June, so I didn't read much between then, but I managed to get out of it and make it up for the last 2 weeks of June. So the first book I read in June was Insurgent by Veronica Roth. This is the second book in the Divergent series. I absolutely loved this book and I gave it 5 out of 5 stars. The second book I read in June, well I didn't actually read it, I listened to it because it was an audiobook, was Alien Roger's Epic Detour by Morgan Matson. I adored listening to an audiobook. I will be listening to them more, and I ended up giving this book 5 out of 5 stars. The third book I read in June was Dashing Lily's Book of Dares by David Levitan and Rachel Cohn. I know in my review I said I gave it 2 out of 5 stars, but I ended up changing it to 1 out of 5 stars and I forgot to do that when I was making the video. So yeah, I gave that one 1 out of 5 stars because I just really didn't enjoy it at all. The fourth book I read in June was That Summer by Sarah Dessen. This is another one I didn't enjoy that much. I gave this one 2 out of 5 stars. I will be reading Sarah Dessen's other books because there are 2 that I absolutely love and just a few that I hate and didn't enjoy, so yeah, this is one that I didn't enjoy. The fifth book I read in June was Tragic by J.A. Huss, which is a new adult novel that I picked up on a whim after that summer because that was when I was in my reading slump and I was like, why not just go and buy a new adult book because it's really cheap, and I ended up loving this book and I gave it 4 out of 5 stars. And then I picked up Faking It by Cora Carmack, which I got a copy from NetGalley, and I adored this book so much more than Losing It. I love the characters, the storyline, everything about it, and I gave it 5 out of 5 stars. And then I read the full of Nicole Williams' Crash series, which includes Crash, Clash and Crush. I loved the first book, I gave it 5 out of 5 stars. The second book was still really good, I gave it 4 out of 5 stars, and I really enjoyed the third book as well, which I gave 4 out of 5 stars. I just really enjoyed this series and I think overall it's about a 4 out of 5 stars for me. And then I read Bitter Blood by Rachel Caine, which is the 13th book in the Morganville series. I really enjoyed this book. I love the Morganville series. I gave this one 4 out of 5 stars because there's always stuff going on and it always keeps me interested, and I just absolutely love this series. And then I read This Is Not a Test by Courtney Summers. I was disappointed by this book as well. I was expecting action, brilliant characters, and I got none of that. I ended up giving this book 2 out of 5 stars because it just wasn't for me. And then I read Splintered by A.J. Howard. I absolutely loved this book. I gave it 4 out of 5 stars. I loved the wonderland that Howard had created in this book. It was so gothic and creepy. It was fantastic. I loved the characters. and I am so excited for Unhinged now. I can't wait for it to come out. And then I read Tumble and Fall by Alexandra Coates. This was a really good book. There were things that I had problems with and things that I really enjoyed. I ended up giving it 3 out of 5 stars. I still really enjoyed it and I still recommend it. Then I read Geek Girl by Holly Snail. I loved this book. It was so quirky and funny. It was just such a fantastic novel and I gave it 4 out of 5 stars. And the last book I read in June was After Eden by Helen Douglas. I ended up giving this one 3 out of 5 stars. It was just kind of cheesy and kind of predictable, but I still really enjoyed it. So that's my wrap up for the debutathon and my overall wrap up for June. Let me know if you guys have done a June wrap up video because I'd love to go check it out. And if you haven't, let me know in the comments what books that you read in June or your favourite books that you read last month. So thank you guys for watching this video and I will see you guys later on today with my sort of July TBR thing that I'm not too sure about. So yeah, I will see you guys later. Bye everyone.